if you start to practice, let's say you decide, okay, I'm going to give this a shot and see what it's all about, right? You unroll your mat and you start breathing deeply. That's the number one thing. You're already, if you're focusing on your breath, you are becoming present because your inhales and exhales happen in the now. So you are shifting gears out of the talking head mode into like, oh, my body is full of information about how I feel. That's one way. Then there are focal points in every pose, places where you're going to direct your gaze. And over time, that follows you off of your mat. You're training your mind to do one thing at a time instead of that multitasking that we're fed is like, oh yeah, the more you do, the better. And oh, you're exhausted, right? That's like a badge of honor. To stop that, because people go to have tea with a friend and they're like on their device the whole time, or they're staring at the door every time it opens. They're not there. So it slows you down. It helps you focus. If you have a passion project, if there's something in your life you're trying to accomplish and you set out 2 hours, let's say you set aside of time, and then you're on Facebook, well, you just lost, it's a time suck. And so being able to decide, this is what I'm doing with my time. I'm having this conversation with my partner right now. I'm going to show up, and be present. I'm talking to my children right now. The device is over here. I'm with them. So it's that. It's also, and I think it took me a long time to figure this out, but a lot of the practice is about learning how to breathe through intense sensation. So you hold a lunge for 8 breaths and you're breathing deeply, right? And you wonder, well, how does that help me in my life? You have this burning feeling in your quad. It's not comfortable, but you hang in there and you train your nervous system and you train your mind. Just, okay, I'm going to breathe. It's not forever. It's the same thing when you're enraged and you have sensation flooding the body. It's the same. So when you practice doing that on your mat all the time, it just naturally follows you out the door. And that's a lot of what I try to do in the book is just, break it down so that, because for me, it took a long time for the light bulbs, those light bulb moments. I have tried to share all those so that, hopefully you don't have to practice for 15 years like I did before, finally like, oh, I really wanted people to understand this is why this works. And so while you're on your mat, this is what you can focus on. There are certain things that you might find helpful. Like, for example, your body's been with you through everything. And if you are upset, for example, that is in your body somewhere. There's a physical manifestation of your feeling of being upset. Maybe your shoulders are hunched up around your ears, or your eyebrows are furrowed, or your jaw's clenching, or your fists, or, shallow chest breathing, whatever it is, it's present in your body. So yeah, you go into a pose and let's say you're focusing on opening up your shoulders. If you're somebody that habitually carries tension in your shoulders, you might release more than just the physical tension. Maybe there's some emotional stuff you've been holding that's going to come out with those exhales. People cry on their yoga mats all the time. It's very normal. Hip openers, I talk about this a lot. Sometimes you are pushing down your feelings, repressing. I think culturally we're encouraged to do that. We're supposed to edit out certain things. A lot of the time it's on like that gender line. Men are not supposed to show fear and women are not supposed to show anger, and it's completely unrealistic. And then you have a bunch of people like trying to manage and just show the pretty stuff. Those things that you sit on, that you repress, it's not like they go away. It takes a lot of energy to push that stuff down. So sometimes you come onto your mat and yeah, boom, there's like a lot of release. But that's what you want. You don't want to walk around your whole life, repressing and editing and not being yourself. If you are on your mat, let's say, and because a lot of habits, all habits really exist outside of our awareness, right? If we knew we were doing something that wasn't good for us, we'd stop doing it. And so if, for example, you get on your yoga mat and every time the teacher says, relax your shoulders, or, check in and see, notice your mouth, notice the hinge of your jaw. If you notice every time you're cued like that, oh, wow, got to relax my shoulders again. Got to relax my shoulders again. Oh, my neck. Then you now know, okay, I have this I have this habit of carrying tension in the shoulders. And then as you go through your day, it does start to follow you out the door and into your life. So you're driving and you realize, oh, wow, I'm driving like this. Whoa, okay. Or you are online at the store and you're counting money and you're counting money, you know, like, because I see that all the time. You have no idea how many times I want to go up to strangers and be like, relax your shoulders. But you can't do that. So bringing these habits that we have, and some of them are physical and some of them are emotional, right? So if you're on your mat and you fall and your internal dialogue is like, oh, I can't believe you fell. It's so, like, the person behind you is probably judging you right now, or whatever it is that goes on in your head, right? That's a habit too. Maybe you're doing that all day long. You took a left, you should have taken a right. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I did that. You know, that, bringing that into your awareness is how you shift it. You can't break a habit if you don't even know that you're doing it.